Hello. It's a rainy evening, and I'm toying with my slopper. This JB Weld started cracking, obviously, because it's brittle, and this blade is flexible. So that did not work out well. I mean, I think inside it's fine. So what I'm doing right now is removing. Basically, there was one piece that chipped off, and the rest was still intact. But with that one piece chipped off, and it's funny because it chipped off, and I put it back on there, and I just pressed it in, and then it wouldn't come back out again. So I just trickled some super glue in there and stuff. But it was that effect, that mechanical effect, where it's such a flush fit, it didn't want to come back out again. But of course, trickled in some brittle super glue, went back to using it, and it popped out somewhere. And so I'm going to do a wrap and do the same kind of thing. I won't bother doing this whole bulge here. I don't think it needs the support, and it doesn't need the. I'm not using the knife in such a way. I'm using it, holding it back here and slashing. Incidentally, the blade geometry. We've removed a lot of steel here. I can show you the scabbard. Just pull this out of my dangler here. So this fit the original knife pretty flush, I guess. Kershaw wouldn't have wasted plastic. So, you can see. But the knife is far more integral now in terms of my use, because it has a machete type edge. It's still this flat grind, which geometrically would offer obviously the advantage over the machete, providing the thing holds together, and now it does. It's good and thick behind the edge. This needs honing. I've just been sharpening. 400 grit. Later I'll just hone the apex with an 800 grit blue rod. Lots of carbide hammer tippy tappies. Just did that because, to start out for a bit of straightening, but later I kind of got into it because I've heard that some studies have shown that this will increase toughness, as you're tightening up your grain structure every time you hit it with the hammer, not just in the area where you see the pock mark, right? That's like the knot there, but spreading out from there, you've compressed the grain structure a little bit. And also potentially work hardening through use, just through slamming this thing repeatedly. And I'm thinking that eventually what we might end up with is a kind of a yataghan. If I focus my chopping efforts or slashing effort, whatever, heavy cutting efforts into this area here, so then I'll predominantly be sharpening here and end up with a kind of a cool recurve. Anyway, I've become somewhat distracted because I wasn't going to make a video about all this. I thought I would just do it. But using this tool here, which is a modified carving fork, I was only able to get so far. And this lump here is still very well attached. Now we could saw in, we could grind in, we could do various things. But it did occur to me that since I had some speculative comments and curiosity regarding this knife that I'm now carrying here in this pocket, why don't we subject the Sandrin Polyhedral tungsten carbide to a little bit of a toughness test? I don't think I can break the knife trying to whittle/pry on this. I was just going to make an experiment. Maybe I don't need to pry at all, because maybe it's good enough I can just kind of cut through everything pretty quickly. Or cut down to some... In fact, what I need to do is cut out a chunk here. I need to cut in such that I can get the pry tool, some kind of pry tool in there and pry it out. A chisel would be another option. But anyway, let's go. in here, see what happens. Yeah, I mean, that's nothing like the experience of going in with this, right? This just kind of meh, right? Because I guess this is epoxy with steel powder in it. Ooh, she's looking a little chippy there, huh? Or do my eyes deceive me? Anyway, we shall continue. Let me just use this point here and just whittle on this and see whether it feels like the edge is retaining, or whether it's just fracturing and splitting off and destroying itself at an accelerated rate. Perhaps this is abusive. I don't know. Seems fine. Now, apparently you can't raise a bead on this stuff. I mean, I would have thought so, but I was reading some comments. Should I go for it? Yeah, that's not doing anything. This stuff is really solid. Solid as a rock. Interesting. I think I just cut my apex clean off there. Nice. Right, the objective. Ouch. Possibly ouch. I'm not really feeling it, honestly. Well, although that just popped a whole chunk off, and I don't seem to have done much. We'll sharpness test. I haven't done this with this knife yet, so I don't know how it was to start out, but it's not great right now. Definitely, I reckon that's a little chippy. Putting away the fancy knife. Now I'm going to probably have to spend 4 hours sharpening it. Creative violence, my dad called it. Well, we're in. Thanks for watching.